Trendsetter here, 2017, Exotica 10-year anniversary here in Edison, New Jersey. First time for me ever being here. I've been to WrestleMania conventions, I've been to WrestleCon, never once have I ever been here, but I'm happy that I am because I got a chance to meet someone who I met actually last Friday when this goes out. Jessa Rhodes, thank you so much for coming on.
I'm excited to be here. It's actually my first Exotica as well.
So, what's the intake? You've been to certain other events, exposés and stuff like that. This is your first one, especially here in Jersey. What's the mood right now? What's the atmosphere like for you?
It's great. You know, it's a little bit more laid back than AVN, so I'm kind of enjoying it. You know, it's not like lines of people and you have to be like, hi, bye. You know, so it's fun. There's a lot to look at, a lot to see. They've got, you know, all kinds of toys and different stuff that I'm probably going to sneak off later and buy. So
yeah, definitely.
Living the single life, you know, you kind of got to keep your toy box stocked. But,
so you're single right now? I'm sorry to hear that.
Technically, no. I'm technically dating Callie Carter.
Okay.
But
so you're never really alone theoretically, though.
Well, the problem is we never really get to see each other because I'm always on the road, she's always on the road, so that's the life we live. But
so you particularly don't have a preference, then, do you, for guys or girls?
No.
Okay, it just depends on the personality. Would you say?
If I can stand to be around you for, you know, a long period of time, that's
more than 30 seconds for me, so I'm in the clear here.
Well, no, because like I'm very ADHD, so I either want to be alone and left to my own devices,
Well, I'm an introvert, so I'm very quiet to begin with. So, but when I get talking, you can't shut me up, and I don't need a drink. It's that type of personality, which is why when I spoke to you briefly, I instantly felt the connection. Like, she's easy to talk to, she's laid back, so it makes it a lot easier.
The same way.
Everybody puts up walls, basically.
Yeah.
But you're saying, I'm sorry.
No. I was just saying that, like, I feel the same exact way. If I tend to be a little bit more of an introvert, but then if you can kind of peel back the layer, and then I'm like, oh hey, like it's fine.
Yeah, you're smiling all over the place, and that's best. This smile is amazing, folks. Not this ugly mug here. But anyway, something I wanted to ask you though, is that, you know, I cover wrestling, my brother and I do on the High Spot podcast, and we realize how competitive it is. Everybody wants to make it to the WWE, everybody wants to make it to the big show. I would assume, only I'm a novice, so I'm not assuming anything, but the adult industry is somewhat like that too. It's very highly competitive, so how do you stay ahead of everyone else? Is it as cutthroat as people might think it is?
Honestly, yeah. It's a difficult industry in the sense that, you know, you kind of have to stay on top of your shit because the second you blink, you know, like another person's going to come in and take your spot. That's why it's hard when a lot of these girls go into retirement and then they try to come back and it's like, oh shit, either the industry's changed via social media or the way people make money. You kind of always, it keeps you on your toes, you know, and you kind of have to just, but the other thing too is don't look at what other people are doing. Just kind of almost horse blinders and just
pay attention to yourself.
Yeah, pay attention to what you're doing because that's the easiest way to kind of stay ahead with your own game.
I completely agree. It couldn't be better said than that.
You're not gonna win a race by looking to the side of you. You know, just stay focused.
Yeah, like I always use the old adage though, it's like a marathon, not a sprint type of thing. So it kind of works in this way too. Talking about pacing yourself. I mean, I know a lot of people you've mentioned in your personal life too. There are a lot of you experiment a lot. You're very open to sexuality, which is great. Not a lot of people are, but on camera you kind of save it a little bit. For that reason, is that really a rule that everybody's taught that you want to pace yourself, or is it like if you do everything at once, do you now limit your time on the shelf by doing that?
You know, it could go one of two ways. There are some girls who just go all in and like they're now known because they're just the girl that went boom and like they've made careers out of doing that. You know, Bonnie Rotten is a prime example of one of them. She just went, fuck it, I'm a bad girl, I'm gonna do this. She went all in and now she has a huge name for herself and a brand that still continues to grow as she's still not shooting. For me personally, I waited just because I wasn't sure what I was comfortable with sexually yet. And I'm really happy that I finally did wait to do this, by the way. My showcase.
Go get it, guys.
Go buy it. Because when I did my first DP, I finally did it because I was really looking forward to it. Like I was like, I really want to fuck two guys. Like I want to have that experience. And it was cool because porn allowed me to have that experience safely and with people that I was comfortable with and people I trusted. And you know, it just depends. Whatever your goal is in mind, whether you want longevity or you want to pace yourself, or, you know, whatever it is, like just stay true to what it is that you're doing. Because if I would have forced myself to try to do an anal scene several years back just because someone said I should do it,
yeah, of course.
I wouldn't.
You want to be ready for it.
Right,
you want to do it because you want to.
Exactly. Now I love doing it and I love shooting it because it's actually something that I'm really into.
So So it's not a term of business, but more personal preference. You decide to do that. Cool.
Totally.
Actually, jumping on board on this, you said you did your first DP scene there. I've always been curious, when women do all these other extra things like DP, choking, all these different types of sensations, does that kind of limit now the expectations if, for example, it can never be the same again? Like, for example, meaning monogamy, one-on-one. After experiences like this, can it go back to that, or are you more just set on this?
No, absolutely.
Okay.
And it's funny because I was telling someone this the other day. I do have a steady sexual male partner.
Okay.
But it's a weird thing because, like...
Yeah, I'm only asking because I'm confused too. I don't really understand that.
I realize that like when I have sex with him, it's great because you have all the things that you have in porn, but you also have like that connection to that person.
Exactly.
So it actually makes it like imagine porn is like the shell of sex, right?
Yes,
like you're allowed to experience these things and do these things and say these things out loud to yourself while you're fucking someone else. And then you could take it home to your partner and then add that other spiritual connection, that soul connection that you have with them, and it just makes it even better. A lot of people ask me that, like, oh, how does it affect your personal life? Does it make your personal sex boring? Does it...
Oh, no, I was more curious, just like with all those sensations, is it like, if you ever have sex just regular style, is it boring? But no, it depends on the connection, like you said too.
Totally, yeah.
I completely understand that.
But it's also, again, it goes back to being comfortable with yourself. Like I said, there's some things like on set where I'm like fucking someone and I'm like, like dirty talk, right? Like people are always insecure about dirty talk. So it's kind of my outlet to get it out there, and then I'm like, oh, fuck, I felt really good saying that. So then I go back home and I do those kind of things with them. Really, it's almost like experimenting
I would feel like, and I don't really, it's the first time I've ever met her though, but I feel like your personality is just kind of really open. You don't really worry about what other people think and say. You kind of say what's on your mind, which a lot of people don't like. I'm kind of the same way. I'm brutally honest, but I'm a different demeanor than you. You smile about it, I suppose I tell it straight to your face, you're wrong. But talking about social media, like you said before, in the wrestling industry, it's vital right now. It's like a big boom in wrestling. Great time to be a fan and a wrestler because there's so much content out there and so many people to reach out to in branding yourself. When it comes to branding yourself, like we're trying to do right here, branding ourselves, any keys of words of advice you got from yourself in terms of how to brand and make Jessa Rhodes a household name? It's okay.
I've been I went to the gym this morning.
It's all this, that's why.
I know. I'm like, there's nothing sexier than a woman burping in your face.
Believe it or not, I actually find that quite attractive. You know why? Because it's real. You're not faking it.
I'm a lady, though. I'm a lady.
You can still be a lady in burp.
I feel like branding yourself is all about consistency, but yet, like, you have to have the ability to grow and kind of allow yourself to evolve with, like I said, like the girls who tried to brand themselves years ago in this industry without social media, without all these other tools, are having a harder time understanding it now, and they're doing well of it, but that, like, keeping up with the times and keeping up with the ways in which to brand yourself and exploit, like, every avenue and channel possible, and, going around, and, like, even things as simple as, like, lighters, like in a literal term, branding yourself, like, getting people's attention. That's something that I'm actually gonna start doing myself. Like, think about, something someone needs and something like a lighter, like with my image on it or whatever. Like, that's a technical term of branding, but, consistency to who you are and what it is, whatever your brand stands for. I feel like it's just kind of, people will start to see that consistency.
Prior to this interview, we talked about a little briefly before the camera went on how busy you are and how busy your schedule it is, and you have to, in order to be successful, you have to be busy and burn that midnight oil. Are you enjoying some time off pretty soon?
Yes.
What do you do to unwind?
I will probably
besides sleep.
Yes.
Which we all need.
This is what's gonna happen. After AVN, I'm gonna sit at home with my red wine and I'm gonna sleep for 3 days on end, and then I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna binge watch Game of Thrones because I'm still on season 4.
I haven't watched it yet. I gotta watch it. There's so much TV you have to watch.
I'm on like 10 different shows right now. But yeah, so that's my plan. And then after that, I'm gonna hit Chichen Itza and go see the pyramids.
Oh, very nice, very nice. Do you find a lot of flexibility in your schedule, or do you brace yourselves for those times you can do it?
I make my own schedule, but it just depends on, like, I'm like, do I want to lose money or do I want to go vacation? So you got to balance things. Yeah. That's all it is.
One more question for me before I let you go, because I know you're going to get a line pretty soon, and I don't want to be the one being kicked out of here for that. But, because who wouldn't want to see her and talk to her I would talk to you for 20 minutes if I could. I really do. You're just that great of a conversationalist. But when it comes to, like, male talent, I've always been interested doing my research. I'm like, there are very well-known male talent out there, but, like, say a guy who's doing it for the right reasons, because he wants to do this for a career. How do you go about doing something like that?
I feel like
because you can look up.
So loud.
I know you can look up how to be a porn star and stuff like that. You said you danced first and you kind of discovered, but for a guy, it's really tough to do that.
Honestly, if as a guy, because obviously it's been a long time since I've been one.
Yeah, of course. Great transformation, by the way. Beautiful.
Thank you. So for me, honestly, it's like if a lot of guys get in thinking they can do it, and unfortunately they fail because they put too much pressure on themselves or this, that, or whatever. And you know, they watch a lot of porn getting in the industry, which of course, you know, people get nervous or whatever.
Yeah.
My biggest advice to a guy,
I would be nervous too.
Just don't be a fanboy. Like if a girl, I had one guy do this to me one time, and it was actually super respectful the way he went about it. It wasn't until after we finished the scene that he was like, hey, I've been a fan of you for a long time. And he was a newer guy in the industry, and I was like, hey, thanks for saying that, you know, after the fact, so that I wasn't uncomfortable.
Yeah, of course.
During, you know, and not that we get uncomfortable, but there are certain people who get in the industry to fuck the girls and just.
It's about professionalism too.
Right, it's about professionalism too. Like we're making entertainment, you know.
Yeah,
so we
because on the camera I'm so cool, calm, and collected, but off the camera I'm like, oh my god, I love you, Jessa, you're amazing, I love you. Whatever.
Exactly. But that's my only piece of advice is just get into it with a professional mindset.
Do you ever watch wrestling?
I do occasionally. I'm more of an MMA, UFC.
Who's your favorite MMA guy? Or girl? You like Conor McGregor? He's hot right now. He's like.
I'm not a big McGregor fan.
Really? Because he says shit, but he backs it up.
You know, though, I will say, like, when I watched the Mayweather fight, I'm like, you're not a boxer. Like, he was trying to hug him and blanket him the whole time.
That's what everybody tells me, but he wasn't being a boxer. He was in there for the money. He got his payday, so he won.
It's true.
Even though he got beat up, he
still
won.
At the end of the day. Obviously, I'm going to say the cliche thing. I love Ronda Rousey.
Okay.
I think she brought, you know, a lot of empowerment to the UFC, not just because she's a female, but because she's a badass fucking human being.
Yeah.
So.
You remind me a little bit of a little Ronda. You have like the little feistiness in you. So, you know, you say what's on your mind.
Nation!
And yeah, she backs it up. So who was your wrestler growing up when you were a kid watching it?
You know, I was super sheltered. I never watched it growing up, actually.
Yeah.
I didn't even have a TV till I was like 10.
Well, you might not understand this, but everybody watching will. For the Jersey Wrecking Crew, I'm going to officially make Jessa Rhodes an official member of the crew right here. So we're going to put the fingers up here, we're going to kiss, boom! She is now a member of the crew officially.
Did I just get initiated into something?
She just got initiated into the crew, which means that we're
I don't have to like skin a wild animal and eat it, right?
No, not that kind of thing. No,
okay, that happened the last time I got initiated into something.
No, this is an exclusive club initiation, purely clean, no stuff like that. But what it means is, we're always going to follow you, we're always going to be behind you, and we're always going to have your back.
Fuck yeah.